right, babes, it's Bimini, and we are back with a brand new episode of The Pieces, and I am very excited for this week's guest. All right, babes, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm so glad to be here.
I'm buzzing to have you here, and I firstly wanted to get into your name to start with, having the X, the variable.
Oh yes, the infinite variable, honey.
Where did it come from? What gave you that idea? Because I love that.
Yeah, I love how it's been symbolic of so many different things throughout history. Like there's obviously the unknown variable in math, and then it was how the illiterate would sign, and so there's sort of an anonymity to it. I was really into like the idea of like the Jungian idea of like the shadow self and stuff when I came up with the concept. And I think my work is all this sort of exploration of identity and like trying to figure out who I am in the world essentially. And so it just felt really fitting and kind of infinite. And it has been. It's been 10 years now with the project, and it still feels like really, I don't know, authentic.
I think it's powerful.
Thank you.
And it's can you see it as a little kiss as well? Like a little kiss at the end.
Yeah.
Maybe was it about identity then? Like trying to like kind of figure out your identity, or just like knowing that because I think you say you're in progress.
Yeah,
your work
exactly. Yeah, I've always, I think even just this question of am I like a good person or a bad person or like I think what propels me to make music is this sort of question of who am I and like where do I fit in and the X always felt really fitting for that.
I think because it kind of just you can make it up whatever you think it could be, and
exactly,
I guess there's some power in that.
Yeah, exactly.
You've described yourself as someone who's in progress, but where do you feel with that journey currently? Like, is it something that's continuing?
Actually, I've been reflecting on that because it has been like about a decade now since I've been making music as Allie X, and I've been working on new music that I've sort of returned to the piano to write at, which is a total full circle because that's where I started as a songwriter, and I sort of had to leave the piano because I was just writing like cheesy musical theater type stuff, and I learned how to program beats and stuff and write like dark pop, I guess. But now I'm sort of in a way musically back at this sort of place that I started, and so there is this sense of like, oh, am I realized in some way now, or that like it just I don't know. Been really, and the music I've been writing has been quite reflective, and there is sort of this full circle feeling going on lately. But no, I still feel in progress.
How different is that energy on the piano compared to like if you're doing it say on a computer with production or?
Yeah, I feel like the problem is when I started at the piano, I think I wasn't a good enough writer to just sit down at the piano and have the imagination to write something really good. And I feel like now I've become a better writer, and maybe it's just even how my hands move around. Like I feel like I used to have just the same sort of chords that I would do, and now I'm more expressive, and I know. Yeah, I don't really know how to answer, but somehow it's working now at the piano, whereas it did not when I started.
Does the music come first, or does the lyrics?
Usually the music.
Yeah. And then you kind of figure out, because when I write music too, I don't use the piano, I can't play the piano, but I can. Like it's more hearing the melody come from hearing the music. Yeah. But then often I have lyrics that I've already written down, and I like try and like pigeonhole it in.
Yeah. I would describe my process as the same. Like it's sort of led by melody, but sometimes the melody comes from just fiddling around on in Ableton or on the piano, and sometimes a lyric just falls out of the thin air.
Ableton, is that your preferred?
Yeah. Do you program?
I've started learning Ableton,
nice.
So I've been doing a production on it. I can do my thing.
Yeah.
Like some people I watched, and I'm like, wow, like you are like a magician with it, because it's like so. But like it took me a minute to get into it. Like I think I had it. I paid for it for about 10 months, and I had the laptop and everything before I could even properly do it. I'd open it and be like, ah.
Yeah. I feel like you need a real sort of curiosity to get deep into it, and to have it become almost this like limb of yours that you know all the shortcuts and everything. But if you have that curiosity and you do learn all the shortcuts and spend a lot of time in these creative programs, it's so fun because it becomes infinite what you can do.
Literally is never ending. Like there's so much, so many sounds, so many samples, so many things that you can play with and learn about. I think it's really intriguing. It's really exciting. So I was going to ask you, what parts of Alexandra still live within Allie X?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that as well.
And any parts that you've let go of? I guess that happens like as you become more accustomed to yourself or your journey.
Yeah. These questions are pretty deep. I was actually expecting more of like I don't know, like a comedic sort of thing here, but
we could get comedic.
No, you don't. No pressure. It's actually like super. It's very sort of relevant to where I've been at, but I've never put it into words in a conversation or like an interview. But I think I do again feel like I'm in this time in my life where I'm sort of like looking at like who I was as a child and who I was as an adolescent and who I was when I began my career and sort of like, yeah, kind of having this beautiful reflection about it and feeling just really, I don't know, I just feel kind of like good about who I am at the moment. And it feels really good, just like really okay with myself for maybe the first time in my life. I think maybe to not to be too poetic, but like to find Alexandra, like I had to maybe go through this sort of Allie X journey of like expressing myself in all these different ways and exploring all these sort of like darknesses and dark sides or something.
I guess it's highlighting, especially if you're a creative, the human experience can feel a lot like I definitely feel like it can be heightened, my emotions, how I regulate those. Mm-hmm. But I think understanding and learning about myself as a kooky, neurodivergent, neurospicy person I am, that helped me a lot, understanding that. Because I realized that things that I've done maybe wrong in the past, but some things that I've done great or had really enjoyed, that's all been part of that journey. And I think like that level of acceptance, society doesn't want people to accept themselves.
That's true.
Like they don't. That's why we sold products all the time to like make us more youthful and make us more this. And like, you know, it's not sustainable for that. So having where you're at is radical self-love and we love to see it.
Yeah. And I think that there's obviously so many challenges that come with pursuing art as a career and as a way to make a living. But I think the great privilege of being an artist is what you're describing, which is this freedom to liberate yourself, explore who you truly are, and to be heard. Like, even if it's by a small group of people, like to actually put your feelings out into the world in an authentic way and to have them be heard and understood. It just feels like such a privilege. And that's another thing I've been thinking is like, I just really enjoy this life that I don't have kids. I'm probably not going to get married, but I just like love that I get to live in this way where I express myself and travel and meet interesting people and get to be heard. Like I really love my life for that.
Again, that's another thing. I don't think that's what society wants people to do. It's
exactly,
like, you know, conform, get married, have children, pay, like do this, but actually to be kind of free-spirited in a way, getting to travel and do your thing. I love that. I think like there's so much of the world and so many interested people to meet. Like, why would you not want to do that? Because then that's why there's so much division, I think, sometimes in where we're at with the news and the media. People are so divided. Like people don't want to be friends with other people. I'm like, everyone just needs to get on. Everyone needs to take some acid. Everyone needs to have a good time.
Everyone needs to take some acid and get on,
Acid and mushrooms or some psychedelic. That's what I think. My journey changes. My identity feels like it changes. I don't think there's ever, I don't think so personally. Maybe some people don't even think that far into it, but I don't think my identity is infinite. Like I think it is infinite.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm never going to get to a point where I'm like, this is how I'm going to be for the rest of my life.
Well, that's actually why I feel like it's like, I mean, I'm all for other people getting married, but like even the idea of one love or one sort of everlasting relationship doesn't make sense to me because I've changed so much.
Yeah.
I feel like I look back on previous like decades and I'm like, who was she? Like, and like definitely pieces survive but there's just so much sort of like, you really do become someone else over and over in the span of a lifetime, I think. And it's like, it's really fun to just be open to that, I guess, and see.
I like the idea of a life partner, maybe that's someone that's like consistently, but like, I don't believe that like monogamy and all of that kind of like, monogamy and like marriage and that route is I mean, if you look at divorce rates and all of it, like it's not, I've not seen a successful relationship in my life. So I'm like, just enjoy lots of different ways and different moments.
Yeah. I like the idea of like a continuous growth and expansion until death, like a continuous evolution. That sounds exciting to me. But I don't look down on someone that just wants to, make a safe home and box and stay in it. Life is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting married though, just for the looks. Though.
Just for the looks? Yeah.
So
expensive though.
It's so expensive. One of my friends got married in a black wedding dress and I just thought it was so iconic.
That's chic, yeah.
Yeah. But they got divorced, but it's fine.
They got divorced, but it's fine.
But it's fine. She looked phenomenal. So like obviously, like with music and things that you speak about, there's a sense of vulnerability and control, I'd say, in your newer work. How was that, exploring that for you? Is that like does it come easy? Is it difficult?
Anger comes easily, but it's funny because anger comes so easily to me as an emotion. It's like I'm very impatient and will just like snap, especially in my close relationships. But musically, I was actually never able to completely access it until my last album, Girl with No Face. And that was like my pandemic album where I decided I'm just going to try writing something by myself without any collaborators or anything. And I think that's probably how I was able to access like all this rage that I had inside me. And yeah, it really made itself known on that record. And so funny because like letting all that out, what the music that followed was completely opposite. So I think it was kind of needed to come out to make space for other stuff. Yeah.
Everyone needs to let some anger out in some way.
Yeah. Or sometimes I feel like anger is usually covering up like a pain or a sadness, but like you first have to get the anger layer out to even get to like that, to that deep stuff.
Well, because I realized like when I've been angry in the past, it's like what you just said, it's covering a different emotion. Yeah. But like I've always tried to either suppress it and then I use coping mechanisms that I probably shouldn't use, or I do things in ways I shouldn't do that aren't as healthy as they could be. Yeah. But I actually have to understand that to go through it, anger is a perfectly valid emotion.
Yeah.
I think there's like some sort of like thing built up in me that is like about masculinity and femininity and not always feeling super masculine and feeling that like I wasn't as hard or like I wasn't a fighter. So having anger, I don't know how to express it without getting like frustrated.
Interesting.
So it's like, understanding emotion. And I think like music is one of the best outlets to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I've just been making an album, my first album, which I'm buzzing for.
Nice.
Because it's been like a long time coming. But it's like electro punk is like the genre.
Oh, I love it. I love that as a genre.
Like I'm calling like electro punk. And I get angry in some of that. Like
electro
there's Riot.
Punk.
Electro punk, yeah. But it's like rave and Riot, And I think like getting that anger out was powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually was just I did a talk with Peter Hook, who's like the bass player from Joy Division and New Order, about just how it was the punk spirit that moved into like the post-punk music that just, it really gave me this musical sort of language to let my own anger out. I think I'd been so in like the commercial pop world and in the musical theater upbringing and stuff that I almost didn't have like the musical understanding that I needed to channel some of my feelings. And discovering like The Cure and like Cocteau Twins and all that stuff was really, I just felt it so deeply, and it really helped me sort of like expand as a writer.
So going back to the musical theatre side, how do you think with the pop music, the dark pop, which I love the definition, dark pop, like how do they marry each other, or do they complement each other in a way? Have like one taught the other something?
Yeah, I mean, I always sort of toggle between this really like this. I'm almost like I have this like Liza Minnelli side to me. I'm like very kind of over the top, eccentric, like theater person. But then I also have this really melancholic, like ever since I was a kid, this really melancholic sort of dark side. So it was really funny when I was trying to actually pursue theater as a career. Like I did it in college, and then I would go audition and stuff. And they'd be like, you've got a great voice, but like you're not a leading lady or whatever. And they just put me on the ensemble. And I think it's because I've always had that sort of like quirkiness to me. And so I got really tired of that kind of quickly. And I think with Allie X, I'm always trying to figure out what the path is to fit in that sort of theatrical side of myself. And I think I've managed to do it.
Totally, yeah.
Sometimes I do watch myself on stage and I'm like, girl, like tone it down, tone it down a bit. Like, cause I want like, you know, like I want people to listen to cool music to like my music as well. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm a bit theater, but I don't know. It's just who I am.
Yeah, totally. And that's what makes you know?
Yeah. And the gays love it.
And the gays love it. And the gays love it. And as long as you're not pissing off the gays, you're not doing anything wrong.
I mean, truly, preach.
When you're up on stage, if something personal's going on or something's going on, are you able to just switch off on stage?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely, maybe there's been times where I've got emotional because something's been happening, but I definitely think that's a safe space for me.
I feel like if I have, I mean, I'm a very emotional person, so I often have feelings before I walk on stage, but I'm able to really like let them out through the music. And I think about that sometimes too, is like, because I'm so sensitive and emotional, I have this crazy anger in me sometimes. Like, what would my life have been like if I not been able to get up on stage and like let it out, or write music that really let it out? I think I've been so lucky with that.
A parallel universe somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, like wonder what's going on. Yeah, it's true. I think like finding a creative outlet and pursuing it as your career, firstly, is hard and is a bold, courageous thing to do, because you're doing what you love and like going against, like, it's just, my mum would always say like, oh, but why don't you just do the route of just like the easy route in a way?
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I feel like I've got to be able to be expressive. Like it heals, it's healing in a way.
So healing, yeah.
What about when you're like your energy is not there? How do you deal with that on stage?
It's actually so fun, because we were just doing a tour and it was through the heat wave, and my partner George was there as the guitarist on this particular tour. And we're sitting backstage in Berlin. It's so fucking hot.
Because we don't have AC anywhere, like Europe, right?
Unacceptable. Yeah. I'm sorry. I like it much better out here generally, but that has been unacceptable for me.
But it's been too hot.
I'm like a lake witch. Like I need things to be cool, forest, lake, rainy. Like that's where I thrive. I was like perishing backstage this show at Berlin. I was just lying there with like a Fanta can cold on my head. And I was like, oh, I think tonight I'm going to have to take it really easy. And George, my partner, just started laughing at me. He's like, you're not going to do that. And sure enough, I get on stage and I'm just, no, I don't know how to hold back.
But that's the beauty in it, is being able to just let go. But even if you're going to go with exhaustion and dehydration and tiredness.
Yeah.
Like whatever. But yeah, the heat's been a lot.
Ugh. I've become like a quarter of the person that I am in that heat. My tour manager's like, Allie, you're really quiet when it's hot. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't suit me.
Doesn't work.
No.
I realize I like it if I'm on a beach in like.
Oh yeah, if you're on the water.
But if you're working,
go for a swim.
Yeah,
totally fine. Totally fine. I agree.
I
concur.
You concur. Where do your ideas like for visuals come from? Because you've got like a very kind of surreal, theatrical.
Yeah, I like a theme. I like a concept like per era. I like to world build.
I love that, yeah.
Yeah, and my fans really like it too. So I always just feel like I feel really enthused to go the full way with it, because I know I've got people that will appreciate it and look at all the fine details. I like to say that I'm good at curating. I think I'm a consumer and a researcher more than anything else, where I have good references. And I care about references, and I care about what artists before me have done. And then I think I just know how to put together a team, really. I wouldn't know how to shoot something myself or how to draw something or anything like that. But as I'm writing the music, I'll usually see like maybe like one prominent sort of color. I'll start sort of gathering images, and then just try to work with a photographer that I really like. And it usually just sort of comes together when you've got the team in place.
When the world is created and you're creating that like visually in your head, whether you're writing the music and it all comes, like there's a beauty there. I love someone that is able to do it from like, you know, the creative direction in a sense, like the whole thing.
Yeah, I think I could credit myself as creative director mostly. Yeah. But But
I'm like the similar in a sense that I can be like, that person would be really good to take the photograph. And there's the styling and like help, but like when it necessarily comes to like making an outfit, when I was on Drag Race, like that was not my thing.
Yeah.
Like I could safety pin the outfit together, we passed, we were good. Like we've got the vision, just haven't got the like manual labor.
Yeah, manual labor, not my thing.
I can't do it. I've got like heavy hands and I just break it.
Heavy hands, I like heavy hands.
I do, I've got heavy hands, someone else is better
Heavy
at
hands
it.
should be a song of yours, maybe.
Heavy hands, yeah, exactly. But in the electro punk, it would make sense.
Heavy hands.
There we go, we've got the melody already.
You need to get in the studio, honey.
How do you think, like, when you're coming up with the visuals, you want to kind of work? Because obviously you're saying about like creating like the worlds. Do you feel like, how do they serve towards your identity as opposed to kind of take away or distract?
Like I have distracted at times. Like I've done too much, girl. Like I definitely have, you know, like
I go on my Getty images sometimes. I'm like, Getty got me. Getty got me good.
Getty got me good.
Getty got me good.
Same. I'll just be looking back. I'll be like, girl, you're just doing too much. Like too many looks. Like sometimes people are like, I didn't know that you looked like that because they've just done so many looks. Like, so I don't really look back on all my work super proudly. But I do look back and think like, girl, you tried. Like, you know, like you gave it your all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best way to think about it.
Yeah.
That's what I try and tell myself.
Yeah.
You want us to do that then.
No, and it's all like we're saying, it's all about like this journey and this evolution and just being open and being brave and like, yeah, I applaud anyone that sort of like goes with their ideas and is brave about it.
Yeah, and just holds it and owns it and goes for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like sometimes look back at some things, I'm like, yeah, okay, that was a miss.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but at the time I felt
yeah.
And if I felt at that moment, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, no, and people, you know, some people liked it, like, and no shame to them. I really appreciate that they liked it, even though that I now look back a bit embarrassed.
Do you think that Allie X is a character, or do you think it is?
As you said, Allie X, I thought of Allie X,
Allie
which is like a joke. In the
I say eggs, like
Allie
eggs,
Allie Eggs.
Someone said that to me before, like sex. No,
yeah, there's
eggs.
this whole like very niche like animated series that someone did for me called Allie Eggs. I was like, it's gonna be big, and then I realized like
that's what I was talking about.
No one's gonna know this because everything is an inside joke for a super niche pop artist. That's not Anyway, we made an Allie X t-shirt, by the way. We didn't sell very many. I think there's like boxes of them. I'm gonna have to bring them on the next tour.
Yeah.
But wait, what was your question?
Basically, the question was, because I think there's an element of drag for sure, isn't it? Like drag
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and like whatever drag is, because I feel like drag is whatever you want it to be. I always find like drag is the heightened, drag is the art, drag is the.
I mean,
creation.
I wouldn't go out and say that, but I do like I feel like I would get in trouble maybe for saying that, but I
don't think you should get in trouble for saying it, because I think drag is we're all born naked, isn't it?
Yeah, we're all born naked, honey. Yeah, I mean, I feel like definitely a sense that I'm becoming somebody else, and yeah, my looks can be on the more extreme side. I don't know what defines drag exactly, but I definitely relate to queens. Mm-hmm. Like I always, even as a little kid, I always sort of have.
It's the fantasy.
I think it's the fantasy of it. Yeah.
And it's like the dressing up. Like I've always loved dressing up.
Yeah, same. I remember doing swimming lessons as a little kid, and like I was obsessed with mermaids. Like, and I really thought like.
I was one.
I would cross my legs like this in the pool, and I really just thought that, like I've become a mermaid.
Yeah.
I can't leave the pool. I'll die. Like I've just always had this really sort of like this fantastical and sort of like this idea of transformation and like the weight of that. Like I'm very romantic about it or something. Like I've always had that.
It's the mystery, I think. And I don't know, like there's a queerness to it. There's an element of like, taking yourself out of the world and just being somewhere else for a minute. Because I was so the similar when I was younger as well. Like mermaids, vampires. I was like playing Buffy the Vampire Slayer all the time.
Cute.
Like we were like, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like we were we were killing vampires. It was happening. And I think that imagination is it worries me nowadays with the younger generation. I feel like I'm at that age now where I'm always like the younger generation.
I know. I'm guilty of that.
But like they're not thinking for themselves as much anymore. I don't think. Like they don't need to, because everything's like either
everything is so stimulating and so imaginative. Like just open your TikTok and it's like
and then it means that they don't have to think for themselves or go that deep into anything.
Yeah, the imagination doesn't get it. They don't get bored. So, and I mean, boredom's really important for creativity, I think.
I saw a photo series, which I thought was really interesting. And it was a photographer did a photo series taking away the phones in people's hands and what that was looking like. So it was actually really weird. Like imagine you're like on your phone like this, but then the phone's not there. You just sat there like staring at something like, and it's all the people. It was like really quite harrowing to see.
Wow. That has me a bit shook. Yeah,
having like a couple at dinner and they're on their phones, and then they're just sat with the food. Like, it was quite like dystopian. I'm like, that's the world we're in.
Yeah, no, it really is, and like thinking back to when I was a kid in the 90s and like the way that things have radically changed. Like technology has radically shifted society.
Hugely.
Like I was like going to the mall with like coins and like calling my parents to pick me up, like those days are gone.
Yeah. Playing out.
Yeah.
Like we used to play out. Like you'd be home by when it was dark. Like I just miss that.
Yeah.
For those like not being able to experience it. It's quite sad.
Yeah, I'm actually grateful to be of a generation that got to experience a little bit of internet happened when I was really young, but I definitely had a real chunk of my life without being online all the time.
Enough that it's like you created your own ideas and your who you are.
Yeah, I think a good amount of my brain formed before that.
I agree.
So grateful for that. Yeah.
I want to go back to the music, but I just want to ask, like, because obviously the queers, the gays, we've said this.
Yeah.
Love the music. Why do you think it resonates with queer audiences so much?
Like I got this question a lot, and I don't know. I just always had gay boy best friends for my whole life. I wouldn't have survived high school without them.
We love the gays.
I have always just resonated as a person with the queer community. That's just been where I belong. So it just makes sense to me that would be the audience. But that's really the only answer that I have. Like I definitely don't. It's just kind of like who I'm friends with, I guess.
I'll tell you why. It's because we've got great taste.
You said it.
I said it. Okay, last question. What advice would you give to someone who feels like an unknown, in progress, and scared to claim space? What advice would you give to that person?
God, I mean, I think maybe my advice doesn't apply to everyone, but I'm a Leo, so I just think it does. Is be brave, be bold, and like go take risks and go like get yourself hurt, like if you need to, like go for it. You have one life, I think. Like go like throw yourself into it. Throw yourself into the fire. But I don't know, maybe that's bad advice.
I think that's good advice. I think it's sound advice. Just go for it. Try it.
Yeah.
Be deluded enough to believe in yourself.
Yeah, be delusional.
Be delusional.
For sure.
That's it. Yeah, love that. Okay, cool. So, quick fire questions. Is pop music dead?
No.
Great answer. Sexiest sound in a song?
The Moog.
Oh, the Moog.
Mm-hmm.
One word to describe the current music industry right now.
Bullshit.
Cancel one trend in music right now.
I would say vocal processing has me kind of like frustrated. Like I get that it can be an aesthetic, but it's also sometimes I just want to hear like a raw voice. Call me old fashioned.
AI music, threat or tool?
Fascinating.
Collab that you'd love to do?
Yeah, let's write a song, you and
let's do it.
Yeah.
We've already got it going. Name a song that changed your life.
Love Will Tear Us Apart, Joy Division.
Industry inspiration?
I heard that Maggie Rogers like wrote her own record deal. I thought that was really cool.
Wrote her own record deal. I love that. And last one piece of advice for aspiring artists.
Don't do a deal. Don't go sign a deal unless you wrote it like Maggie Rogers.
That is good advice. But thank you so much for coming on The Pieces. It's been such a pleasure. And I can't wait to keep seeing all this amazing stuff that you do.
Thank you, doll. Thanks for having me.